Hi, hello, welcome to another Partyplex FPS. Sorry, I am one of the two lovely people here. My name is VB, I'm Veganbear, and today, for today's FPS, I'm gonna be bringing. I can do this, I swear. Today, I will be bringing the Partyplex's favorite problematic child, Franky. And I'm here with the ever wonderful.
Hi, I'm CYM-K. I am going to be playing the world's most incompetent employee, Elijah Mallory.
That's valid. Alrighty, so let's start us off with today. Yeah, let's start today. And I'm gonna say this is a few days, maybe a week after the events of a hide and shriek. And Eli, what are you doing?
Eli is in the back busying themselves with paperwork. They've been avoiding many of the employees, mostly because they still hold a bit of guilt over the events in Hide and Shriek, but they've mostly just been trying to push it out of their mind. They're trying to focus with themselves with what they think they're good at, paperwork. However, at this point, they are taking a little break and just sort of walking about trying to clear their head because they've been doing it for so long that it's starting to give them a little bit of a headache.
That's valid. That's valid. So, just wandering around trying to clear their mind and everything. Hmm.
Yes.
I'm gonna. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask you to make a perception check.
Awesome. Perception. Nice. My perception is proficient. That rolled on top of my dice. I don't know what happened there. And that's an 8.
That is delightful. An 8.
Eli is not perceiving. Oh my
He.
gosh, I'm so sorry. My mom's calling. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. We are on a short little break. Oh well.
So sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right.
Perfectly understandable. Alright, anyway, we are back. So, as Eli is walking around with a perception check of 8, he doesn't notice that there's a small little child in front of him. And unfortunately, only would realize so until he's bumped into them.
Oi, oh, hello there. And they kind of crouch down a little bit to face the kid, and they're like, "What are you doing here?"
As you crouch down, you notice that there's a small girl with really frizzy red hair wearing a big, very puffy, um, very puffy, razzy colored jacket with a big, razzy looking duffel bag. Razzy shoes, too. Just a lot of razzy merch apparently on her. And she's giving Eli this kind of glare of death and fear. Well, death towards him, but and hey, he he knows that glare. He knows that hair. It was that kid, the Fennec Fox kid.
Eli, for a moment, their eyes light up, and then they're like, "Ah, shit," and they're like, "Oh, it's that you're back. Hello, hi." Um,
Oh, you're
they
still
stand
here?
right back up. They nod, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm honestly surprised myself."
Hmm. Surprised too that they let you keep this job.
Eli lets out a little bit of a wheeze and is like, "Yeah, but I suppose I suppose either they're understaffed or I play enough of an important role that they haven't decided to fire me. I'm hoping that the latter's true at least.
Oh boy, you are playing with fate there.
Eli tenses and is like, perhaps it is better that I don't say anything. Knock on wood.
Oh, you better knock pretty hard and a lot. Ha! Let's hope Lalu graces you.
Lala?
Don't worry about it. One of them gods or something. I heard her name a few times. But, hmm. And she kind of looks him up and down. And I want to imagine that she gets a bit of a devilish idea.
Oh.
So, as a new employee, tell me, what have you learned during the week that you've been here?
Well, I learned that I'm not too good at peopling. I mean, it's no offense, but people are a little bit harder to understand than I originally thought. I mean, where I come from, uh, there's typically like a script you gotta follow, and there's like a whole step-by-step process. But here, it's like all for nothing. So there's that. But I suppose the freedom's nice. I appreciate that a lot. They kind of motion a lot with their hands very anxiously.
Hmm. Yeah, Frankie's looking at that and is just, hmm. Yeah, you do need to work on your people skills. Stop waving your hands around so much. You're gonna hit somebody.
Eli very quickly holds their hands over to their side and is like, sorry.
Oh, don't apologize to me. Hmm. But you know what? I'm feeling kind of gracious today. Maybe I could help you a bit. I've been around the Partyplex a lot. I think I might know a thing or two when it comes to being an employee.
Really? They let children work here? I thought
Oh
that was
no, I
against
don't
child
work for
labor
them.
laws. Eli blinks a bit at this and then sort of looks off to the side and is like, you're an employee's child?
No, absolutely not.
Eli opens her mouth to ask another question, but closes it and decides it's probably better not to pry.
Yeah, I also imagine Frankie to just put a hand up, kind of do the quiet coyote thing with like the making the fingers touch each other like a mouth shutting and just going, can it? No, I'm not related to anybody here. I don't have any parents here. Don't bother asking about my parents. And, but I have been around here long enough to kind of know how a lot of things work around here.
Right, right. Um, so you know about this place. I would appreciate the help if it's not too much of a problem. That'd be nice.
Course. So let's. So I guess first thing about being an employee, I guess would be navigation. How much do you know about this place?
Eli, um, holds up their watch and is like, "This has been helping me a real lot. I know about the utility tunnels, but that's about all I know.
Mm. You only
Place
know.
is massive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you can't keep relying on that watch too much in order to get around place to place really quickly. What if they call out? Oh, I don't know. Kid fell down in the Archie Alligator golf section, and we need employees there stat. Well, you're gonna have to get running as fast as possible. So, I guess let's start off with there. Do you know where Archie's golf is?
Eli thinks for a second, and they sort of close their eyes really tight for a moment, and they're like, somewhere near the atrium.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to say it's somewhere to the left.
I'm gonna be honest, as the player, I don't actually know exactly where it's located.
Me neither.
So for this, I'm gonna actually make a survival check or either intelligence or survival check to see if you can remember where it is located.
All right. I'm gonna do intelligence. Oh, that's a nat that or no, it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so Eli, congratulations. You know where Archie's golf is. And
Yay!
I want to say that Frankie, knowing this place and having navigated through a lot, just kind of nods, goes, "Yep, you're right. Want to head over there now?"
Close. And they get a little bit ahead of themselves and start walking in the general direction of Archie's. Um, a little leaving Frankie a little bit behind.
Hey, 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 wake up. Wait for me, wait for me. And she's kind of like trotting behind him. Gee.
Eli slows down to let her catch up and is like, sorry, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself there.
Mm hmm. Alright. Alright. Archie's. Archie's golf. You got it. And as they enter the atrium, she just kind of looks around. She finds a room and points to it. You know what that place is?
Eli looks at it and shakes her head and is like, I don't think so.
That one right over there? That leads to the maze.
Maze! Oh, they kind of calm themselves down a little bit and like, oh, right, right, the maze. I remember
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep. That way over there?
Yeah, that
Pointing.
way?
Yep. Pointing to random directions, trying to quiz him.
Um, I want to say, I'm sorry, let me pull something up really quick. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay, this is not the map. Star calls.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, it's the star cars location, that laser tag, right?
Ah! She kind of squints to look at it. Yeah, I think so. Looks like it.
Nice.
I'll say so. Yeah. Congratulations! And she kind of does a little applause for him. Sadly,
He
I don't have
smiles.
any.
He's
Go
very
ahead.
proud of himself. Sorry.
Yeah, good job. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any superstar stickers to give to him. So
Oh,
he just gets an applause. But yeah, entering Archie's golf, she kind of like looks around, sees if there's any kids and stuff. I'll do a perception for her since I haven't really been rolling.
you know.
Oh, nat 20. Okay. She looks around, sees a bunch. She sees a few kids doing some golf, uh, a few employees, and she gives a quick glance and kind of sighs a bit in relief. Well, all right. Hmm. What's another part of being an employee here? Uh, hmm. We got navigation down. I guess the next part would be helping, wouldn't it? A good employee's gotta help every kid.
Right, right. I'd like to think I'm pretty helpful. Uh, Aside from last week, but it's all right.
Eh, water
Other than
under the
that,
bridge. Hmm. And she kind of looks around. I'm gonna say with net 20 perception, she spots something and kind of gives Eli a quick hit on the arm with the back of her hand and points out a kid who seems to be a little bit lost. Well, maybe not lost as much as they seem to be searching. And uh, kind of points out, hey, a good employee would help there.
Oh, right, right. Eli nods quickly and kind of trots over to the kid. And once they get there, they kind of lean down and are like, "Oi, little fella, you looking for something?"
Uh, the kid kind of looks up. I, yeah, I kind of lost my golf ball,
Oh,
and I can't find it.
uh, oh, hi. Do you know where you hid it?
Yeah, I kind of hit it over in that direction, and they pointed towards a bunch of reeds. But
Oh,
well, within to the reeds that they're searching in, but but I can't find it anywhere.
hmm. Let me help. And Eli starts looking through the reeds, and I'm guessing roll perception.
Yep, roll perception or investigation.
Awesome. Let me see which one's higher. My investigation's higher, so I'll roll that one. 13 plus 5 is 18.
18.
Yep.
Nice. So as you're searching through the reeds and you push all of these fake little reeds aside, you notice a green golf ball, which honestly, no wonder that the kid appeared to be very lost when searching for them. It blends in really well with the reeds. But it has Archie's face on it.
Oh. All right, and it's just in the reeds, right?
Yep, just the reeds.
Okay, I was wondering. I was a little worried that it was going to be in water. Okay. Eli picks up the ball and holds it out to the kid and is like, "Is this it?"
Oh, yeah, yeah, thank you. And the kid kind of timidly takes it, and as soon as they have the ball, they just kind of go, thank you, and then run away. And Franky, once again, giving a little applause.
Eli looks over her and gives like a thumbs up, and they're like, "Yes!"
Well, well, congratulations. You're a lot more helpful than you seem. Look at you.
Eli falters for a moment and is like, "Thanks."
All right. I know there's another kid that really needs help.
Oh, oh, where?
Right here. And she kind of points to herself. You know, I have a really important project that actually needs to be worked on. And it's a little bit difficult with getting the certain supplies that I need. So I think you would be a huge help if you could help me navigate through the employee area. You know, I really got to reach the parts and services because I have big important Partyplex project that needs to be worked on, and well, the Partyplex isn't going to fix it themselves, and I'm the only person who can. So, if you want to make up for last week's mistake, would you help me?
Eli hesitates for a moment, but they nod and they're like, "Oh, all right, but don't tell anyone that I helped you, all right? Okay, this is just for last week."
Of course I won't. And she kind of gives him this like grin. He supposes it's a grin.
Yeah, he supposes it's a grin and not malicious.
Definitely not a cheeky, malicious little grin. No, no.
Eli uh helps her enter the utility tunnels, kind of looking over their shoulder, making sure no one's watching, and um do I need to roll anything to say they lead her to the parts and services room?
Ah, hmm. That's a good question. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have him make either another intelligence or survival check as Frankie once again goes, you know what? Here's another quiz. Can you remember the way there to parts and utilities.
All right. Ooh, 18 plus 3. That is a 21
Oh,
for
fortunately,
intelligence.
fortunately, Eli is very, very focused on trying to impress this kid with how much he's learned over the past week of being a Partyplex employee. And
He,
yeah, he does remember. Kind of hard to forget, but yeah.
yeah, he's very dead set on both impressing her and proving that like they are not as incompetent as people think they are,
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
and they are leading her towards that parts and services room.
Yeah. Uh, so as as soon as Frankie enters the parts and utilities, she kind of lights up and gives Eli a pat on the back. There you go. You do remember. Good job, superstar.
Eli, sort of, Eli nods and is like, "Yeah, I, it's a little hard for me to forget given the events, but I'm really, but I think I've got it down real good."
You do. All right. And then she's going to run towards one of the desks, grabs the tools, and shoves them into her duffel bag as she's kind of like taking various other items from the shelves, taking different metals. She probably finds like a scrapped hand or something from one of the animatronics and just kind of admires it for a moment. Oh boy! Yeah, you're gonna help so much! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she's gonna
Eli, oh,
go
oh,
ahead.
Eli blinks and is like, what exactly are you trying to fix, by the way?"
Oh, hmm. So, you know how there's supposed to be those. I think there's five. Is there five? How many main
I think,
animatronics are there? There's either four or five. We have.
let's see,
There's
characters
four, I
we got.
believe.
Ormil,
Because we have.
let's see, Banny. Oh,
No, I mean the main animatronics. Because we have Lexi, Senora, Archie. No, there's main four.
uh,
Okay, so.
okay.
So, hmm. So, you do know that there's supposed to be four main animatronics for this place, right?
Right, but I always thought there were just three.
Oh, of course you'd think that. Well, yes, there's currently three, but that's because the big main one's currently out of commission. And, well, I know where he's located, and I have to fix him.
Oh, that
So,
seems like a rather big job for a child, ain't it?
oh, it's okay. It's not that hard. But the hard part comes in with the fact that I don't always have the correct tool tools or the right parts to fix him. And so I regularly have to make a trip back here in order to make sure that I'm getting all the best parts. She continues examining the hand before shoving it into her duffel bag.
Right, makes sense. But how come nobody else has fixed him? I mean, if he's so important, then surely one of our maintenance men should have fixed him much earlier, right?
Well, uh, they tried. They tried to fix him, but from the damage that he had occurred, they didn't know how. But I did, so I kind of took over. And you know what? I think this would be a prime time for deception, considering the fact that she has a -1 in charisma. For
Or
she's not lying very well. There's something off about the details that she's giving because you are right. Why wouldn't one of the employees here be fixing Razzie instead of this child?
Eli sort of squints a bit, and they're like, well, if then why didn't they issue a replacement then? Surely they could have gotten at least a replacement bot, or perhaps they could have sent them to more experienced mechanics. I mean, this place seems to have the money for that, given the size and all.
Are you suggesting to replace the big lead?
Well, not quite. Where I'm from, when a machine is too fix broken to fix, well, that's what you do. I mean, though, where I'm from, I don't think machines are nearly as refined as the machines here. Eli rubs the back of their head and is really trying to get their point across.
No, no, that's understandable, but Frankie continues to give him this, like, horrified look. Not actually horrified, but like a mockingly horrified look. Like, tisk tisk. To have the idea of replacing the main lead singer here? You are insane.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that things were like that here. I was just, well, at the very least, wouldn't you get a hire a more experienced mechanic, or perhaps more, at least improve upon the already pre-existing mechanics of the main singer? I mean, that's what we did back where I came from.
Frankie is becoming frustrated with the fact that, yeah, he does bring up a really good point on why didn't they bring in a much more experienced mechanic. And so her childish answer to that is to just wave her hands and say, can it, shut it. They didn't, and so I took over. That's kind of the thing. That's it. That's the story. That's why he isn't here.
Should I roll to see if they can kind of see past her kind of thing, or are we gonna go with her low deception check?
Sure, you can go insight.
All right, insight. Where is it? Oh, that's a dirty 20.
That is a dirty 20. Eli is on his A game today.
He is not going to be bypassed again.
He is not going to be outdone by a child. Okay, so
Eli. Yeah.
yeah, he notices the fact that she's becoming incredibly frustrated with the fact that she's not able to explain on why she's working on Razzie. And she's very much trying to shut him up before he starts asking any more questions.
Something happened with him, didn't it? Something that, hey, no one here could fix, and then you're trying to bring him back for something. Did he hurt somebody?
Frankie kind of stays a little bit quiet and looks back at Eli. What are you, a detective? You never told me that.
I might not be a detective, but I am an employee here, and I will not be outsmarted by some child.
Hmm. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I've grown a little wiser over the past week. She's going to start hurrying up and stealing the parts from parts and services.
Eli stands in front of the door and sort of squares her off and is like, what happened? And I'm gonna try and roll a little bit of an intimidation check to see if they
Oh,
can intimidate her into talking.
go ahead,
All right.
intimidate her. This has become
That's
interesting.
13.
I'm gonna make a wisdom check against that to see if she is intimidated.
Oh,
22. The balls on this kid. Okay. So she looks back at him and sees that he's trying to kind of intimidate her a bit, but she's not in the least bit impressed. And she kind of glances at him and goes, "None of your business."
Eli uh, groans and it's like, for God's, I just don't want to be responsible for another injury here, okay?
Well, he's not gonna cause another injury in here.
Another? Are you implying he has?
If you're worried, it wasn't towards any of the other humans here. None of the guests.
So, what happened then?
Has nobody told you the story of what happened of the break-in?
Well, they seem kind of hush hush about it. I always just figured I wasn't senior enough to learn about it.
Hmm. Well, they're being hush hush about the fact that a child broke in. Ah, oh, well. I'll give you the throat. Fine. I guess I'll give you the shortened version. Basically, I was in the Partyplex, and with the help of Razzie, I escaped. But unfortunately, security wouldn't just let me leave. That's about the short version of it.
So, you live here?
Yeah, sorta. Kinda have to.
Eli softens a little bit, and they're like, what about Razzie?
What about him?
Where'd he go? I mean, if something, I mean, if he helped you escape, like, is he just somewhere in the building? Is he outside? Where is he?
And she kind of is looking up at Eli and she's debating if she really wants to tell an employee on where the hell Razzie is located. And
Eli
go ahead.
crosses their chest and is like, holds up a hand, is like, I won't tell anybody. I swear, I swear,
You swear.
on my life.
And she kind of laughs at that. Okay, if it's on your life, then. Alright, you tell a single soul, and I'm ending you. Actually, I'm going to say that for the badass factor, she kind of says, "Alright, you tell anybody, and I'm terminating your employment." And she kind of does like the thumb across over her neck.
Eli tenses, especially at that, and they're like, understood, understood.
Good. Glad that we reached an agreement here. Um, and once again, she kind of clams up, and she's sort of trying to explain how to reach him because this is something she knows a lot more intuitively than actually having to say it out loud. You know what? I feel like it'd be easier if I just showed you where he is. I just kind of have the muscle memory for where it's located.
Eli nods in a bit, and they're like, that's probably best. I'm more of a visual learner anyway.
Yeah, just be sure not to visit him frequently or something like that. They'll eventually catch on, and they're gonna give me so many problems about trying to like return him, fix him. She kind of does quotation marks and stuff like that. Come on, behind me.
And Eli follows very quickly behind. And unfortunately, I do gotta move locations. I'll be really quick about it. Oh, it'll be like 10 minutes tops.
Alrighty, and we're gonna do a break here. So,
All right,
putting the
all
recording
right.
on
I'll be.
pause. Okay, hi, hello, we're back. You probably wouldn't know that we're back. But, so, ooh, I gotta get myself back. So, Franky kind of waves her hand behind her as, well, after pocketing the last thing that she's looking for, probably some sort of like spare eye, and starts kind of like weaving through. I'm gonna make a survival check on her end because, like, yeah, normally she'd be able to, like, navigate her way around pretty easily, but she's kind of being watched and she's uneasy. Oh god, what's up with my throat? Here it is. Ooh. That one. Oh no.
Oh no, we are lost.
She gets really lost is the fact that she never really thought for a very long time on where Razzie is located, but I won't say that she doesn't find him. She eventually makes enough circles that she does find the right door. It's just going to take a really long time for her to actually find it before. Sometimes she just stops and like, okay, okay, um, it's that way, it's that way. Yep. And then no,
You
she
sure
just,
you know where you're going?
of course I do. I just never really thought about the path that much. There, that's the door. And she kind of runs up to it, recognizing it, and she pushes against it. It's a fire escape door, but it appears that when it's pushed, it doesn't actually trigger anything, and it's open.
Eli hurries up behind her, and they try to help opening the door. And they look out, and they kind of look at the alarm system and cock their head, and they're like, "Well, somebody ought to fix that. I think that seems like a hazard."
Oh no! Well, if it was activated, then everybody would know every single time I go in and out this door.
True, true.
Eh, it's fine. I mean, at least the door's unlocked in case anybody needs to quickly leave, so I'm not sure how you see that as a safety hazard. Apart from the
Right,
fact
right.
that from the outside you could open it, but shh. So yeah, you enter a bit of an alleyway behind the Partyplex, and well, this one certainly doesn't seem like it's used very frequently. And off in the corner, which is incredibly hard to miss, is a tarp. Greenish tarp that is covering a mass. And Frankie trots over to it. Well,
Is that
go ahead.
oh, is that him?
Yep. Ta-da! And she kind of takes the tarp, pulls it off, and you see the decapitated body of Razzie. Uh, his, from what I remember, his right arm is currently missing. You have no idea where it is. His left arm seems to have its panel open, and its exoskeleton on the inside and parts are currently mangled and sort of opened. Both of his legs are currently detached, and certain parts of them are also missing and seem that they've been tampered with. But it's also quite rather difficult to see, to, well, ignore the fact that it's missing a head. But yeah, it's definitely Razzie with the way that the shoulder pads are and the pattern and the color scheme.
Feel it or Eli. Eli kind of gets closer to the robot, and they kind of motion their hand a little bit towards the head, and they're like, "I'm guessing you're working on this."
Well, no, not really. I don't have to work on it.
Right.
Why would I work on it?
The head's missing.
No, it's not. I know where it is.
Where is it?
She puts her duffel bag down and she kind of opens it up, and pulling out of it is Razzie's head. I keep it on me for good measure.
Eli blinks, and they're a little bit stunned at the fact that this child is just carrying around a head with her all the time, or a head all the time. And he's just like, all right, I see. So I assume the rest of the body is the issue then, huh?
Yeah. And she looks back at him. I just keep the head on me in case anything happens. You know, wouldn't want an employee coming back here and trying to mess with what I've got, or some other burglars or thieves trying to think that they can make a quick buck off of him, or something else happening. So I have the head here in case I need to make a new body for him.
Right, right, that makes sense. Eli is getting like visibly nervous about the body, and like basically to them, this is like having like an actual body just there.
If Frankie had a nickel for every single time she freaked a robot out with the Razzie body just out in the alleyway, she'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Yeah, she's just Eli is just kind of inching a little bit away from the body, and they're trying to like, just keep their breathing steady.
Frankie, I'm gonna do an insight roll on that. Yeah, robot body horror. Love it.
We love it.
18. Seeing him kind of start becoming uneasy with looking at Razzie, she remembers that, like, oh yeah, you're a robot too. And she takes the tarp and covers him back up. No, no, he's fine. He's still operational and everything. He's just kind of under maintenance.
I suppose that makes sense. I mean, you won't want the robot body just waltzing about, right?
I don't think he'd be able to waltz around.
Right. Well, leg issues. Eli is trying very hard to just keep themselves together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
they kind of look down at Frankie again, and they're like, "So nobody, or they tried to fix him, right? They tried to fix him. What was the issue that they couldn't fix?"
And she kind of looks back and she sighs. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Because mainly I'm tired of lying. No, there wasn't an issue with him. He was fine. The only issue that I'm fixing is the fact that he's not strong enough.
Why would a children's entertainer need to be strong?
I'm making him stronger for reasons. He has to be stronger.
I'm gonna roll insight and see if Eli can kind of parse together what she means by that.
Sure,
If
go
that's
ahead.
okay. All right. Sorry, Oh, that is a 11.
11. With an 11, I'm gonna say that, yeah, what she's telling is the truth. She is trying to make him stronger. Maybe it's definitely to fight something. But to
Would
fight
it
what?
be reason?
Go ahead.
Oh, would it be reasonable to assume that she's talking about the last incident?
Uh, If Eli can piece that together, I would say yes. If Eli can piece together the fact that if she's saying that she's willing to fight something and the way that she reacted and felt towards the rainbow rabbit, then yes.
What's you're fighting the rabbit, aren't you?
You are a detective. Well,
Yeah, I kind
congrats.
of beams a little bit with pride, and they're just like, well, maybe that's something I could consider in the future.
Hmm, you definitely do well. She kind of looks back at Razzie. Yeah, he offered to help me, and I took upon his offer. But he's unfortunately not as strong as I would like him to be to fight her. So now I'm trying to upgrade him until he can fight her.
And he knows about this, right?
Of course. What, you think I just kind of let him out and back into the alleyway? Dismembered him, tore him apart? No, no, no. I know. He knows.
That's good, at least. Uh, Eli kind of looks back at the tarp and um, looks back at Frankie. Why specifically her? I mean, aside from the whole kidnapping thing, you seem to have a personal thing with her, I think.
Frankie's giving him a bit of another look, and she goes, "Oh, sorry. Okay, I think you're asking too many questions about this." And she kind of like waves her hand, trying and pushing him kind of back towards the fire escape door.
Eli startles as they're being pushed and like, well, of course I'm asking questions. You've just you just revealed to me that there's another animatronic that you're building to fight somebody. Of course I got questions.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes when you have questions, you don't get all the answers you want. So that's enough.
Eli just sort of they open their mouth to talk, but then they're like they're exhausted of asking anything, so they're just like, all right, all right.
All right, congratulations. You are a really good employee. You probably should try out to be a detective in the future. Congratulations. Now, again, I would like to remind you of my terms and services that if you tell another soul within this partyplex the fact that they're of where Razzie is located, she once again repeats the motion over her neck. You might end up like him, but worse. Got it?
Just got it.
And
And they raise their hand in like a promising motion and they kind of press against the door. And to their surprise, it does. I imagine it opens kind of behind them, and they're like, "Oh,
oh,
again,
absolutely.
security!
It is.
Again,
It.
security!"
It's fine. You can probably block it off with something. And as she goes, she kind of looks around, finds a little box, pushes it in front of the fire escape door. Ta-da! There you go. Happy?
Full now.
Well, congratulations. You're the employee that knows the most now.
Eli can't help but like grin a little bit at that. They're like, "I know things."
He does know things. He knows a lot of things now.
He has so much information.
Now let's see how well he keeps it. But yeah, uh he kind of guide she kind of helps guide him back to the atrium and everything. And as they enter, she's like, "Okay, congratulations, you can get back to your job. You were super duper qualified. Now, if you excuse me, and she kind of goes like, and as she, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. As they enter the atrium from the employee paths, she's going to try and shove him forward and then shut the door behind him as she books it down the paths.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so she's like shoving him out into the atrium.
Yes.
Okay. He stumbles quite a bit as she shoves him, being very taken off guard by the sudden shove. And he kind of looks back and gives her this look of, hey.
Yeah. And she's now running down the employee hallways trying to find parts and services again in order to take more parts and return back to Razzie. But yeah, I feel like at this point, fairly good closing if Eli has
Same
anything
here.
more to add.
Um, all I have to add is that Eli goes back to where they were doing their thing, albeit a bit more hesitantly because they have just been bombarded with knowledge and they are not sure how to handle any of it.
Open the Partyplex Necronomicon.
We love our Partyplex Necronomicon.
Yep. But yeah, absolutely. But thank you, peeps. Thank you, our beloved little teddy bears. And I thank you for listening in. I hope you have a nice day. Uh, we'll see ya. Bye.